Here we are with a 2006 Chevy Equinox. This is supposed to be a no crank, no start. Customer states that if they jump her to starter, it'll start. So let's go ahead and see what we have here. Always note when you do have these style remotes, that is an aftermarket remote. That's no good, right? I don't like those. Turning the key on. Let's see what we got. Security light goes out. We do have ABS light. There's a little wrench light in the corner. Somebody has something on top of. That's an oil change light, traction control, ABS. The security light does go out, but as I go to crank, we have a no crank situation. I do see that we have an aftermarket radio. I'm always taking a look around for stuff like that. So we got an aftermarket remote starter alarm or something, aftermarket radio. Let's take a look underneath the dash real quick. I'm not going to pull that panel down just yet, but let's go ahead and get plugged in here to our DLC and see if this is actually the original DLC. It looks like it may not be, but I'm gonna get plugged in and we'll do a pre-scan. What's up everybody, Brian Mann here, Hands-On Auto Training. Guys, having a standard operating procedure, that's an SOP or a diagnostic process and plan that you do on every vehicle will save you a lot of time and hassle and aggravation. This is an example of a very simple situation. But I have a process and procedure that I follow. If you want that process and procedure, you can go over to handsonautotraining.com. Check this out here. If you just go to handsonautotraining.com, under resources and links, you click on this and you go down here to strategy-based diagnostics. Go ahead and click on this PDF and you will have the strategy-based diagnostic procedure, the process that I go through on every vehicle that I work on. Guys, that's free. You can go over there and click that. If you want more in-depth detail about diagnostic processes, procedures, and testing, head over to Hands-On Auto Training, the membership site, and go to Courses and Core, and you'll have a lot of stuff there. But let's get back into this diagnosis. Okay, we got our top down plugged in here, and I did pre-boot this already because the top down's a pretty cool tool. I like it so far, but it just takes a little bit to get going. Not too long, but we're going to see if this auto IDs, and once this auto IDs, we're going to do a complete vehicle DTC scan. Being that I see we have the airbag light on, I'm curious if the airbag module's communicating and stuff. 2006, I honestly don't know the network configuration. Is this a CAN bus car or not? I'm not sure, but we're going to take a look and see what communicates and what doesn't, and make our diagnostic plan from there. So it looks like it did pull up the VIN number, which is awesome. So we're in good shape at that point. Reading for data. I wonder if it's supposed to say it says waiting for data. Does this have traction control? Well, because we have little TC light in the corner here, I'm going to have to say that yes, it does have traction control. Click on yes, and here we go. We're going to do a smart scan, and this might take a second to do. While it's doing it, I'm going to go ahead and poke around. Like I said, this thing's on a lift because I guess they've been jumping the starter. They say if they jump the starter, it'll start and run. So I'm just taking a gander around, looking for anything obvious here. This is a classic 3.4 liter. I don't see many of these anymore. Just poking around, looking around a little bit. I'm looking for this, I don't know if this is factory or what, I'm not sure what that is, it may be. This is an interesting one. I think this is the transmission control module, I think right here. This is a very rare bird. You don't see a lot of these modules here. We got our engine control module. I'm not sure what that module is, to be honest with you. I don't see a lot of this vintage. And I see some broken wires right here. Check this out. Let me get my light. You guys see those broken wires there? This might be something for the interrupt for the remote start system. I have no idea what's going on there, but we'll go back to our scan and see what's going on. So I'm looking here. Where's my, what's PS for powertrain? That's interesting. I'm going to let this go ahead. I don't know if this has electric power steering or not. I don't remember if I saw a power steering reservoir underneath the hood. Nope. Usually on a GM, the power steering pump will be right there on this model. And I don't see it, so it does have electric power steering. I wonder if that's going to be communicating or not. It's still trying to read EPS, but the airbag module is communicating. The radio is not going to communicate because it's just not there. And it's trying like heck to get that electric power steering to read. So I think the body control module must be the security controller of this vehicle. But let's take a look. I'm going to go to my powertrain. We got a vent solenoid code and a fuel system lean code. Oops, let me just go back here. I'm going to hit the report so we can make a complete report. And how many miles does this thing have? 225,902. A little long in the tooth. So we'll hit OK. And I'm going to go ahead and skip this page. Hit OK. Network abnormal, failed to upload report. That's because I don't have my internet on. Guys, got to fire up the internet as we go here. So while my internet's getting fired up, let's just go ahead and look at this whole report. Hit the save button. This is our pre-repair. We're going to go ahead and scroll down here. Open now. So lean code. Class 2 data link malfunction. That's no good. Lost communication with the power steering control module. Lost communication with sensing diagnostic module. We got a lot of device power circuit 1. Where'd that go? Device power circuit 1. A lot of interesting things. Device ignition 3. Lots of interesting stuff going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back. You see this is still trying to scan the EPS. Let's go back into our powertrain system. That's what they call it. And I want to read data stream. Engine data. And just so you guys know, the Prindle on this vehicle is way down here. We got our park reverse neutral drive down there. I don't see any other indicators for that on the dash. I was just thinking about that. Let's go to electrical and theft data. And we're going to hit select all and hit OK. And what I'm looking to see here is we have a crank request signal, no. So I'm going to go to crank right now. I'm going to turn this wheel. And I'm going to crank. And it says yes. Okay, so we're getting the crank request. That's me going to the crank position. So the PCM sees that. And we have our starter relay command. It says off. Let's go ahead and watch this on the scan tool. Ooh, and it says on. Right? So you see that? So that means that we don't really have to worry about anything with the computer stopping this thing from cranking, really. We just have to figure out where that starter relay is and see if we have power to it, and basically see if the primary side is getting activated, and make sure we maintain power on the one side of it going into it, and then power should be coming out of it. And guys, I was just starting to set up my laptop stand to fire up my laptop computer, and I forgot about that wire down here. This thing, I don't know what's going on here, but I think this is probably going to be the problem. Look at this. This is going to a speaker cable. I bet you that they interrupted the starter system here. So, I mean, this is almost for sure got to go there, right? I'm going to jump it and see what happens. Okay, guys, I went ahead and I'm jumpering this. Looks like where somebody else had gone in here on the system. Let me see if I can get the lighting better for you and I. But basically, this like a starter interrupt for remote start system and security. We'll jump in that. Let's go ahead and see if this thing will crank up and run. I have a feeling that might be the only problem here. Just some poor wiring. So there we are. Oh, no. Still a no crank. So we have our starter request. Let me make sure I have a good connection there. I very well may just have a rough connection. It's awfully, that is a purple wire, guys. That is a purple wire. So I think we should maybe just jumper to get rid of this thing. Cut this right out of here, if we can. Because this is going, oh, this is all corroded too. I know you guys probably can't see, this is a mess. I'm going to cut this out. I went ahead and cut that out because maybe the security system is also causing a problem. This is a pretty corroded wire down there. It's not in the best of shape. But we're going to see. Maybe now I'll start. If I could get a click out of this starter, I'd be really happy. That'd be awesome. So go ahead here. Oh, and nothing. Okay, so back to the drawing board. All right, guys, my laptop's getting booted up there. I'm gonna go ahead and set my meter to a manual range. So we're just gonna hit the range button until I get to a range that I like say this. We could handle up to whatever, how many, 99 volts or 20 volts or whatever this is set to. And I'm gonna hit the min-max button. So I'm gonna record the maximum. I got one lead on ground, and I got my other lead probed in to their connection coming out of the fuse blocks there. And I'm just gonna go ahead and hit and crank this and see if we get 12 volts on that circuit. If we do, you know, I might be putting back together the piece of the puzzle that they did. They might have disconnected the starter when they're jumping stuff. I have no idea. So we got 11.87 volts on this side of the wire. As long as my jumper lead's good, we'll have 11.8 volts on the other side. So now I gotta find the starter on this thing. Should be straight down here, and I bet you somebody disconnected something. All right, let's go ahead and take a look underneath here and see what we can come up with. Oh, well, hello. How about that, right? Let's go ahead and see if I can plug this in, and if we get a cranker. Bet you'll start now. I shouldn't say I bet you. I don't know. You never know what's going on with these cars when other people start monkeying around with them, right? Let's see here. There we go. We got ourselves a runner. So I don't think they're interested in me fixing these other problems. Guys, the first thing I always do, check for a check engine light, check for a Prindle. At this point, with not having any security codes in the PCM, I was led to make sure I had the crank signal request, as you saw. I've had a request, but I also had a command. And
so as you see
course,
here,
we also saw this
part of our
radio in
this procedure.
This baloney right here.
Process
Guys, that's a
led us,
quick, easy diagnosis.
Gave us a lot of information.
Not bad.
It really gave us the direction to go here. I didn't even have to really look at service information or anything like that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't or shouldn't look at TSBs. There's this whole process and procedure you should do. This was an obvious problem. Now, one thing I will tell you, you will gain with experience, and I'm still learning every day, is looking at the data, knowing what to look at on vehicles and which modules control a starter relay and all that stuff. I knew for a fact from previous experience, because I've been to this barbecue before, that the PCM has the crank relay request and also the crank relay command. So when I saw the crank relays being commanded, I knew for a fact I'm going to be checking a relay or something like that. We'll be going down that road. So you guys have a great day. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. Be sure to check out handsonautotraining.com, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.